Hello, hello, good people. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Make America Think Again with Shauna Vaughn. Welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone is having an absolutely fabulous Sunday. So let's recap. There was a lot. There's a lot I missed because I wasn't able to get an episode done last week. It's the end of the semester. Y'all know how that goes. So it's been very busy, but I have a lot that I want to make sure that is on your radar and that you're paying attention to. Also, some things I'm going to break down and go into in other episodes, like give you a little, just a little teaser here, and then give you more information moving forward as more information comes out. So let's get started. Please like, share, comment on the videos. We're bringing more and more people to the page. I truly, truly appreciate you all. All right, so the first thing I want to put on your radar is AI to Jesus. So I saw this video this week and it was with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, and I guess he has a co-star in this podcast that he does. And they were having a discussion basically about AI somehow becoming Jesus or being the second coming of Jesus. So, as Christianity would teach that, Jesus is going to come back, going to return, and Jesus being all knowing. And so they were making this comparison to AI and then just kind of led into, well, it could actually be AI. Jesus could be AI. And so this is when my spidey senses started to tingle. And I was like, are they getting ready to try to sell people on the second coming of Jesus being AI? AI is already confusing to a lot of people. A lot of people don't recognize it in videos. They think it's actually, a human person. So is this the next tech step that they're going to, I don't know, join forces with the tech bros and the podcast bros and with the church or with the white Christian nationalists and come up with a AI Jesus? Like something's not right here. But this was an actual conversation. You can find this. Joe Rogan, it's on his show. This is him talking about it. So you can find it out there. But it was a very interesting conversation. And how they wrapped it up was like, yeah, AI knows everything and AI can be everywhere. And who's to say Jesus can't come back through AI? And I'm like, what the fuck? So keep this on your radar. I just really feel like somebody's going to pick this up and run with it. Okay. Um, oh, we got a new tranche of Epstein information. I did a whole other video on that. We got some photos. The oversight committee said that they received 95,000 photos and images. I don't know if that includes video as well, that they're still trying to go through. They released like 25 images on Thursday. There's more to come. But keep in mind, this came from the Epstein estate again, not from the DOJ. The DOJ has until the 19th, so we'll see what happens there. But make sure you watch that other video because I go in depth on the Epstein update. Okay, so MAGA imploding. I did a video on MAGA imploding. I talked about Marjorie Taylor Greene in that one, I believe. Since then, she's gone on 60 Minutes and had another full conversation. She's been on all the different networks. But let me tell you what else I heard this week. Okay, so remember how I did another previous video? Oh, I'm sorry. So I did another previous video where I mentioned Alex Jones and how Alex Jones, and this was on the Epstein issue. So Alex Jones, when the whole Bubba information came out, right? And so Alex Jones said on his show, apparently he still has a show, that he didn't care about Bubba. Because remember, I thought this was going to be a bridge too far for MAGA, the whole gayness of it all. So he said, I don't care if, if we have some pictures of the felon giving somebody fellatio or going down on somebody. I don't care about that. I just care as long as it's not World War III. And I'm paraphrasing here, but that's basically what he said. So now we have this guy, Milo. And you might remember Milo from the very beginning back in 2015, 16. He was one of the very outspoken right-wing individuals. So Milo went on a podcast. The dude who was kicked out of the Senate, yet another sociopath. He went on this podcast and he went in on all the right wing folks that he says that he knows are DL on the down low. So, hold on. George Santos. I'm sorry, George Santos. I don't know why I can't think of him. So George Santos, remember George Santos was in Congress. He has a podcast now, and the Milo dude was on his podcast. So the Milo dude says he threw Alex Jones in the bunch of the DL Demon Queens. Alex Jones, he said he threw Charlie Kirk. He said, now this is not me. This is the Milo dude, said that Charlie Kirk was gay as well. And then that one podcaster that we've already talked about, he talked about that dude. And who else did he say? I think those were the only two new names that he talked about. And he also said, because George Santos cautioned him, he's like, hey, aren't you worried about getting sued by putting this information out there or saying this? And he's like, no, and I haven't been sued yet. So, and he's like, also, I encourage them to sue me because when discovery comes out, everybody will know the truth. So, I'm just saying. MAGA is imploding. They continue to implode. Moving on, Jasmine Crockett, yay, she is running for Senate. Also, I also like James Tallarico. I like him as well. I think it was very classy of him to say, look, Jasmine Crockett is going to be my opponent. We're not going to lash out at her. This is not going to get ugly. We're just running for the primary. We're running against each other, and then we're going to support each other for whichever person ends up being the Democratic pick. So I thought that was very classy of him. I've always thought he was a class act. And now Jasmine is in the race for Texas Senate. Now, being a senator representing the state of Texas, not Texas Senate, but to go to Congress. Now, let me say this to my, because y'all know I'm from Texas. Let me say this to my Texans. I'm hearing a lot of noise about both candidates, honestly, Tellerico and Jasmine Crockett. Listen, y'all are in a chokehold right now. And every time, and I know I've said this, so I'm going to say this up front. I have said this myself. If you are a candidate and you take AIPAC money, you are not getting my vote. I have said that. What we have proof of is Jasmine Crockett going to Israel. We do have proof of that she did travel to Israel. We don't have any proof of either candidate taking AIPAC money. But I do understand how people can be taken back about the what appears to be the support of a Zionist movement. I do see that. However, I want to say this to Texans, and I feel comfortable in saying this because I am a former Texan. I was raised in Texas, raised in Houston. In this moment, in this situation, I would encourage you to do what Republicans do. Ask yourself, what would Republicans do? WWRD. What would they do? And you know what they would do. They would vote for their candidate, no matter how much of a racist they are, no matter how much of a sexual predator they are, no matter how much of a dumbass they are, they vote for their candidate. You have actually two very good, strong, intelligent candidates to choose from. What are y'all doing? Why is there a question? Every time you come to these dumbass moments where people are getting your ear, well, this person did, if they meet all the other qualifications and you know that they are going to go to Congress to work for you because you're in a sinkhole right now. Do y'all realize that they are about to bring Turning Point to every high school in Texas? They are literally going to have an office on campuses for Turning Point to try to indoctrinate your children into the white Christian nationalist ways. And y'all hemming and hawing about Jasmine Crockett or James Tellerico? Are you serious right now? Ask yourselves, what would Republicans do, and do that shit? End the conversation. Okay. Another thing that we saw this week or this past week, people, I feel so bad. Tim Walz's daughter, she made a video, posted a video that people are driving by their house, calling them all the N-word, targeting her brother, etc., because the felon was somewhere and he used the R word. I think he did a true social situation, or maybe he was in the Oval. I don't know. He's in regards to Tim Walz. And people are driving by their house, yelling this at their house, etc. Listen, I need for you MAGA folks to check your K through 12 IEPs. Because I guarantee you, I watch your videos all day. I hear you speak. I hear you speak about things that you know nothing about, and you make no fucking sense. Check your own IEPs that you had in K through 12. None of y'all need to be driving around anybody's home saying calling them anything. Check your IEPs is what I have to say to that. Okay, so the FIFA gave the felon some made up award, a medal that he put on himself and was cheesing big time. Is the first ever, and he received the first ever because they just pulled this shit out of their ass to give to him. It's really giving everybody gets a trophy. And because you didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize, we're going to give you this to get in your good graces so we can do some under the table bullshit is probably what's going to happen from this. But it was just so corny. It's so corny. A lot of the things that y'all do, a lot of things that the administration, let me be clear, the administration does is just corny. You have people, the Secretary of Transportation, him and some of his folks in the airport doing fucking pull-ups. In the airport? Like, what are we doing here? It's just so freaking corny. What else happened this week? That I wanted to talk about. Oh, the media conglomerate. Okay, so let's talk about this. So what you're seeing, I'm just going to give you a long story short because I'm trying not to make these so long. You have a few wealthy people with the help of the felon trying to gobble up all of the media sources. Okay, so Netflix was trying to do a deal, and then the felon decided to come and help one of his wealthy buddies, billionaire buddies, to buy CNN and some other networks. What you really need to keep on your radar is why. the why behind why they're trying to gobble up all of these media outlets. The why is controlling the narrative. There are a lot of people, a lot of higher ups, very upset because they cannot control, they can no longer control the narrative. Back in the day when you only had, I don't know, 8 to 10 stations, you could control the narrative. People asked less questions. People just took the information that they were spoon fed. They didn't have all these videos to look at. They didn't have stuff coming from across the country. People were very limited in information. So they just went with whatever the hell the government spoon fed them. Now, you not only have thousands upon thousands of channels and networks to choose from, you have social media. So they are trying really, really hard in every way they can to control the narrative, because he who controls the narrative controls reality. So that's the goal here. That's what they're trying to do. They want us all to be watching some damn state TV, just like South Korea, Russia. That is their goal. And if we watching anything for entertainment, it's some Little House on the Prairie or Hallmark channel shit. That's what they want to get us to. So please, please pay attention to the ultimate goal and really think critically about why all of these entities, I'm sorry, a few entities are trying to gobble up all of the media. It is so they can control the narrative. So no matter what they put out there, that's the only thing that the people receive, just like Fox. If you just sat and watched Fox News and that's all you watch, you have these crazy ass narratives and you don't know half of the shit that's going on, because Fox News curtails its information to what the White House is telling it to put out most of the time. Sometimes they vary. They go off the path. But then the felon will come out after them, and Rupert Murdoch will get them back in line. So please pay attention to that. And the last thing I want to talk to you about, so they floated this travel ban also. And I know Stephen Miller has his vampire, nasty ass little chubby hands in it, his 4'10" hands in this as well. So the first thing they floated was anyone coming from a different country has to provide 5 years of social media post information. So like a backlog of anything that you've posted on social media. Now, I want you to remember, in the very first days after October 7th in Israel, the IDF was going door to door after people who were posting anything against the IDF, Netanyahu, etc., in regards to the attack, everything that happened in regards to October 7th. Very shortly thereafter, you saw this happening. People were getting arrested for what they were posting on social media. So again, Israel trying to control the narrative that was coming out of Israel, because these were their own people, not Palestinian. These were their own people. Okay, so the travel ban, they want people coming from other countries to provide 5 years of, what they've been posting on social media. That was the first thing. And now here on Friday, they said, well, we also want them to provide their DNA. So I have to provide DNA. I got to let you prick my finger and run my blood through a system, or swab my cheek and rub my, and they're saying, so we know who they are related to in America. Why the fuck do I have to be related to anybody? What if I just want to come to America? So these things are very suspect for specific reasons. And here's what I'm thinking. And I want you to think about this too, or consider these things. If we were to do this, if America was to do this, then other countries are going to reciprocate. They're going to do the same thing. Okay. So now you have less people traveling to America because they don't want to deal with that bullshit. And our travel industry hurts even more than it already is, loses more money than it already is. More people lose their jobs than they already are because it's already hurting domestically and from foreign travel. And then also, Americans won't be going to other countries because we don't want to deal with that bullshit either. Oh, now they're doing the same. Oh, we don't want to deal with that either. So it will get to a point, which I think might be the ultimate goal of not just this administration, but the Heritage Foundation, the Federalist Society, white Christian nationalists, etc., to have us totally isolated. And we will be totally isolated in America under this regime. Please pay attention to this. If foreign countries refuse to come over here, to travel over here, and then also they're able to control the narrative, the media that's coming out of America, and we're totally isolated, what do y'all think is going to happen? I'm not trying to freak anybody out. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but these are things that we have to consider. Oh, and on top of this, this just brings me to another note. So you have the controlling of the media, you have the potential, because they haven't put anything in place in regards to these travel bans, but potentially controlling the foreign travel, people going in, going out by, adding all these crazy stipulations. Also, here in the media, here in the news recently, armored trucks. There was a huge order through out of a company from the White House, from HHS for ICE specifically, for armored trucks. And it was a rush order for 30 days on these armored trucks that they're bulletproof and also bomb-proof. They ordered 20 of them to be delivered in 30 days from a company out of Canada. Number one, Canada, I thought y'all are friends. Help. Don't build this bullshit for these people. But you have them, this order of these armored trucks, armored vehicles. And remember, in a previous video, I already told you that several of the cabinet members have moved themselves and their families onto military bases. And I asked you, ask yourselves, what are they planning? Why do they need to live on military bases where we, the civilians, are not allowed to go on? And now you have this order of these armored trucks. I believe it was a total of 20 right now for this rush order to be made and delivered within 30 days. And this was the end of November when this article was written. And these folks are living on military bases. And now you have this floating of controlling who comes in and out of America. The isolation piece. I believe it to be an isolation goal. So yeah, I know that's a lot, a lot. And this is just a week, a little over a week. So yeah, wow. All right, I will talk to everybody soon.